Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Britney Nicole and I create videos here every week to help content creators, entrepreneurs, and small business owners level up in their career, step up their social media game, and just chat about everything that it takes to be a woman in this world today. In today's video, I am talking all about my move from Chicago to New York. I moved to New York about 4 years ago from Chicago, and it has been the biggest staple in my life so far. I mean, from being 24 and deciding to take that massive leap to move to a whole new state, a whole new city, and really just engulf myself in the culture. It's been such a journey, guys, and I'm so thankful to be able to sit down and share with you my journey of how I was able to move from Chicago to New York, what my thought process was, why I decided to move in celebration of my 4-year anniversary. I know that there are a lot of ladies and maybe guys watching who, want to move to their dream city, state, or whatever, but they're just so scared about what it's going to take for them to do that, making new friends, like not knowing anyone. And I'm here to tell you that it is definitely possible. People do it every day, and I just hope that my story inspires you to do the same. Even if it's just taking a leap in another area of your life, it's so important to get out of your comfort zone and try something new. The good part is you can always move back if you don't like it, but the important part is to just try it because you never want to live a life with regrets. Before we dive into today's video, I just want to remind you to follow me over on Instagram at @isBritneyNicole_. There is where I post a lot of my day-to-day content, so you can keep up with me, DM me over there, and I am like very responsive, so definitely hit me up there. Also, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I want you guys to enjoy the videos that I'm putting out, so if you have any other video ideas that you want me to talk about, any topics, please drop them in the comments below. And yes, let's dive into today's video. My New York journey, I found a note that prompted me to do this video actually, and it is a note that I received from my English professor. There's my high school. My English professor from 2010. Oh, actually, she sent it in 2014. I wrote this letter to myself in 2010. And basically, in this letter, I was a senior in high school. I was getting ready to graduate, go to my dream school, which was the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana. And at the end of this note, I said that I hope that I am able to enter my career in journalism and move to New York and find the love of my life and yada, yada, yada. And you know what? That move, I really spoke it into existence before I knew what manifesting was, before I knew what would really happen in my life. I wrote it down, and the teacher, Miss Contreras, my AP English teacher, she mailed the note back to us our senior year of college. And so now looking at this, 6 years later, I'm just like, wow, I really did that. Like, I really manifested that. I really stayed true to what I wanted, and I've always been the type of person to know exactly what I want, but I think that there are moments in your life where you kind of need to be reminded that you are assertive, you are this go-getter, you are this person, and you know exactly what you want, and sometimes you forget that along the way. Yes, that letter prompted me to make this video, and I'm so excited to share with you guys my journey. Starting with why did I move? So I had wanted to move to New York for so long, obviously since high school, and pretty much since I would say my senior year of high school. New York has always been top of mind for me because I knew that I wanted to work at a magazine, I wanted to work in fashion, I knew that I wanted to do all these things, right? But when college hit, I kind of like put New York like in the back of my mind until it was my sophomore junior year, and we went on this um, kind of like this journalism trip to New York, and we went and we toured all of like the major outlets. So We went to a lot of the bigger magazine companies, Condé Nast, things like that, and I just fell in love with the city all over again. I had visited a few times with my dad because he had a lot of jobs here in New York, but when I went on that trip with my class, I was just like, wow, this is where I need to be. This is where I feel alive. I can totally see myself being here, and that is what I strived for every moment after that. So I went the rest of my college career knowing that I was going to end up in New York. After I graduated college, I ended up staying in Chicago for 2 more years because I got my master's at Columbia Chicago and my master's in business and entrepreneurship. But the last year of my program, so my program was 2 years, last year of my program, that March of 2016, me and my family, we took a family trip to New York for my dad's birthday. And being here again, more so in my adult life, I was like, I can really see myself being here, being an adult here, navigating the subway systems. I can just really see it happening here. And I was just, from that point on, I was like, all right, I have to make this happen. I can't keep saying that I want to move, saying that I want to do this and that, and not making it happen. And so after that trip was over, I told my parents, I was like, I am moving to New York. And they were like, okay, Brittany, like, yeah, okay. And I can tell that they like halfway believed me, but I knew in my heart of hearts that I was going to make it happen. Graduation was in June, and I was like, I need to move shortly after that because I don't want too much time to go by where I'm just kind of like lagging, you know? Like you're in this lagging period, and when you're in this lagging period, it's easy for you to like sway and say, like, okay, I'm not going to move, or okay, I'll wait a few more months. Like I was just like, nope, gotta do it. So that moment really set it off for me, and it helped me kind of like zone in on exactly what I wanted. So I was applying to jobs in New York. I was really just doing everything in my power to make sure that I ended up there. I had a friend that I graduated with in college, undergrad, and she had already lived here. She moved here when we had first graduated college. And so I was like, all right, like I can be her roommate, we can be roommates. She was looking for apartments for us. I was looking for a job, and I was just like, I have to make it happen. I think it wasn't until maybe like after graduation my parents like kind of took me more serious. They were like, all right, this girl's serious, she really wants to move. And so during that period from March to July was when I actually ended up moving to New York, July of 2016. I saved up all of my checks from J. Crew. I mean, all of them. And I was only working there part time because I was a full time grad student. And so I literally saved up all of my checks. I was like, I need to make this move. I think I ended up saving up maybe like $2,000, but that was enough for me to take the leap and do what I need to do there. I was applying to jobs left and right. I actually, at one point, I didn't really care what job I got as long as I ended up there. So I was applying for like sales positions. I was like applying for anything that I can. And honestly, it wasn't until I got a call. It was a lady, the HR lady from an appliance e-commerce company in Brooklyn. And she was like, I see that you applied for our sales position to work in the showroom, but I think that there's another position that might be better suited for your skill set. We're looking for a marketing coordinator. And I was like, you don't say. You don't say. And so she interviewed me for the marketing coordinator position. I think there was probably like 2 rounds of interviews, and then they literally offered me the job on the spot on my last interview, and I was like, and that was literally 2 weeks, 2 weeks before my move date to New York. I mean, before then, I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know what job I was gonna have. I didn't, I didn't know anything. But that was 2 weeks before my big move to New York, and it really all just came together, and I promise you it's nothing but the grace of God. nothing but the grace of God for that. In 2 weeks, I got a job offer, my first full-time job. It didn't matter that it was an appliance. What mattered was that I was going to be in marketing. So marketing was a field that I definitely wanted to go into. So it all worked out fine. And then, that week I think we got approved for our apartment. So I finally had a place to ship all my furniture. And it all just came together. But I say all of this to say, when you know you want something, you can't be afraid to take the leap. You have to just take the leap and know that the universe, know that God is going to have your back 1000%. Because if you don't and you're only like halfway, like tiptoeing towards your dreams, it's really going to show. And you're definitely not going to get everything that you could get out of that situation if you were going to be full throttle and go after everything that you believe in. And so I want to end this video with 3 things that you should think about before you move to a new state, and also just 3 things you should think about in general before you take any type of major leap that is life altering. So let's get into those tips. Tip number 1, do your research. So, doing your research is fundamental in everything that you do, but more fundamental when you're about to make a life altering decision. And so when it came for me, I had already had so many encounters with New York, with the city, with just like so many parts of it. I had visited New York, I think about 3 to 4 times prior to me moving. And so I really just knew that that was the place where I wanted to be. I did my research as far as what the job landscape looked like, did my research on the neighborhoods, and luckily I was able to have a roommate who was already familiar with a lot of the areas, and so I was able to get acclimated really fast when I moved there. But I did my research on basically like the whole culture of living in New York. And now, fast forward, I now live in New Jersey, which I'm experiencing another culture all over again. So, do your research before you move to a new place. You don't want to move to a place and then not feel comfortable. Move to a place where you feel comfortable, where you feel the most alive, and that is really going to help you in your overall transition period. Tip number 2, have your savings plan. So before I moved, I didn't really have a savings plan up until the moment that I made that visit to New York. And so when I made that visit, I was like, all right, this is where I really need to buckle down and save if this is what I want to do. And if this is what I want to prove to my parents, that I am responsible and that I can take that leap and be okay. And so I think I moved when I was probably like shortly after my 21st birthday. So yeah, I was saving up all of my checks. I was being very frugal. I was basically only spending money on furniture and my essentials for moving, or my first month's rent, security deposit, everything dealing with the move. That's where my money was going. So it wasn't going towards shopping for myself. It wasn't going towards eating out. I was being really frugal and responsible in that sense, because I knew that I needed this mindset where I really need to buckle down and do exactly what I need to do, and that's what I did. So take a look at your finances, take a look at the lifestyle that you want to live, and see how you could do that within your budget. You don't want to exceed your budget. You don't want to, deplete yourself by trying to live a lifestyle that you cannot afford to live right now. So pay attention to your expenses, have your savings plan ready, and when you have your savings plan ready, at least you have something to bounce back on. Say, for instance, something happens. Last but not least, be ready to give it your all. So, when you move to a new city or when you're preparing to move to a new city, you can have some parts of you holding you back, right? You can be thinking about the friends you'll leave behind, the family you're going to leave behind, like all of the things that made you so comfortable that you're going to leave behind. But you need to be prepared to just really just push all of that to the side and really just go full throttle to your dreams. Of course, your friends are still going to be there, your family is still going to be there, the things that you know and love, they're still going to be there, but you have to be willing to give 100% to this new life, this new city, because if you don't, then you won't really enjoy your experience. When I first moved, I was going to networking events, I was hanging out in the nightlife, I was getting to know new people, I was getting wrapped up into my job. I was just fully embracing all that New York had to offer me, and that is what really made me fall in love with it even more. I was learning the subways, I was taking the bus, I'm literally doing anything that I can to feel closer to the city. And so really just take it all in. Just take it all in, guys, because when you move to a new city, there's so many people who end up not liking it because they're not really just like putting themselves in there. And so really just put yourself out there, meet new friends, mingle, like get to know your city. Walk around. I was walking around Soho like all the time after work, like even if I didn't have money to buy anything, I was just walking around there. But fully just get to know your city, and so many new opportunities, so many new people that you never knew that you could even be in contact with or in close proximity with will come on your radar, and it's just going to make your experience that much better. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my New York journey. If you want me to chat about any other things related to my career, maybe my transition from moving to New York to New Jersey, but still like working in the city, let me know in the comments below. I always love to chat with you guys about what's going on and how I did whatever I did, sharing my stories, because stories are important, you know, they're important. But I can't wait to talk to you guys in the next video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.